Hi, I'm Dr. Sean with Active Life.
I'm Dr. Ray, Director of Staff for Active Life.
These are rubber bands that are going to represent muscles. When our one-on-one clients come to us and tell us that they're tight, that doesn't actually give us any valuable information. We're going to demonstrate why and talk about how we figure out what's actually going on and what you might be doing wrong that you could do better to help yourself get out of pain without going to the doctor or missing the gym. So as we start to lengthen these two muscles, remember, they're the same muscle. We're just showing them as interchangeable so that we can demonstrate different factors. As I pull back, this one might start to feel tight faster than this one, this version of the same muscle. If I keep pulling this one and pulling this one and pulling this one to the point at which it becomes dangerous to pull it anymore. This might be, for example, when you're loading deadlifts for touch and go. Touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. Everything is good. Till that last rep when snap. We call that adaptive shortening, and now you're walking around like this. It's my back. We know it's your back. What happens is oftentimes you run to the coach, you run to your foam roller, to your lacrosse ball, to the massage therapist, and you look for ways to stretch it out and create length. That's a huge mistake. Dr. Ray is going to tell you why and what you should do instead.
So what Dr. Sean was describing is your back going into a spasm. Now the one thing that we don't want you to do when your back goes into spasm is go rush to get hands-on treatment, dig a lacrosse ball in there, get on a foam roll. In the moment, you might feel better. But what's going to happen is 2 hours later, you are going to feel worse. You've taken away the protective mechanism that your body has given to that area. So what we want you to do, go home, relax, hydrate, eat some good food. When you feel better, you come back into the gym, maybe some gentle movement pieces, hitting the bike, working on some bracing mechanics, working on reinforcing the deadlift with something like a easy RDL hinge drill. Then when it becomes appropriate, we start rebuilding workload and rebuilding positions. So we call that graded exposure. We want those muscles in your back to start being re-exposed to new positions. So as I start to get further in my deadlift progression, I start to add some more range of motion. And then that feels good, I let it return to normal. The next time I come to the gym, more range of motion. Until we can figure out what was the issue in the first place, we can then start to restore full ranges of motion, get you back to training exactly how you were before with better habits.
A second scenario that you might find yourself in when your low back feels tight is that the muscles have actually become shorter due to a long period of time in the wrong positions. So for example, somebody who can squat 1,000 pounds, their muscles are actually going to be shorter, which is why it takes them so long to get into positions. They actually need weight to get to the bottom of their position. That's their mechanical advantage. In this case, maybe you didn't use your low back for 6-8 weeks and the muscles have actually begun to change length. What happens now is you go into the gym, you start doing yoga, you start stretching, and you're just looking for this to be a little bit better, but it's not improving. You're making the wrong moves. Dr. Ray's going to explain to you what you should be doing.
So typically what we do for a muscle that is short is we want to expose it to eccentric load. So for example, we might have somebody start with something like a light Jefferson curl, where they're basically taking a little bit of weight, eccentrically controlling it so that they can start increasing their standing level pelvic flexion, getting their fingertips to the floor. Then from there, we're going to pair that with drills that reinforce the new position. You have to be comfortable moving through full ranges of motion. Your back is meant to flex. Your hips are meant to flex. We shouldn't have to reach down and pick something up off the ground like a deadlift. We should be able to bend over and do that with ease. So taking these right training tools, applying them to new things in the gym are going to ultimately get that short muscle back to full length, back to full training capacity, back to full volume.
Sometimes when the muscles feel tight, it could be because there's actually a varied rate of change across that muscle. What that means very simply is if this is the same muscle as this muscle, on Monday this week, that muscle was able to extend at this rate right here. But now it's Tuesday, and instead of moving at this rate, it's going to move at a slower rate and maybe not get to its end range because it's not really sure it can let go. This is the sweet spot for coaches to help their clients and for clients to help themselves. Ray's going to tell you how.
This is where coaches can make the magic happen. If you have an athlete who comes into the gym and can't get their fingertips to the floor on a day where they're deadlifting, but you're able to write a specific warm-up that enables them to get their fingertips to the floor before they deadlift, that's where you're able to make a lot of change, provide a lot of value to that athlete so that they can get into positions that you want them to get in and they're able to train safely and appropriately. In cases of chronic stiffness, where the client has had this for a long period of time, the coach can demonstrate immense value. They're able to provide program design, modifications, and a clear path to return to sport.
So now you understand how stiffness, shortness, and tightness are totally different terms that actually give your coach or your active life one-on-one coach a ton of value to help you get the change that you're looking for. If you're looking to work with one of our coaches to fix your rubber band issue, all you need to do is click the link in bio and set up your free phone call. If you're a coach who wants to learn how to do this for your clients, slide into the DM and let's talk about getting you in the immersion path.